another molecule kung saan yung mga branches are straight chain alkyl groups. Sige, let's find out first the parent chain. So yung parent chain, so ako yung pipili ha, dalawa yung posibleng parent. Okay? Ayan. Pwedeng pataas ka, okay, mula dito, pataas ka, or pababa. So, ako man ang naghawid sa pen, so akong gipili pa obos. Pero parehara na. Pwede ka pasaka. Same lang, same equivalent carbon chain ang imuhang makuha. No? How many carbon is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. So kung pasaka ka, 2, 4, 6, 8 din. Diba? 8 carbon chain pa rin. And the same number of branches ang imuhang makuha pod. Okay? So either lang kayo yung pipili. No? Basta, it follows nga siya yung longest continuous carbon chain plus marami siyang number of branching points. Sige. So this is 8 man, so this would be octane. Octane, ayan, is-substituted octane. Okay? So yung mga hindi ko na highlight ng violet, those are the substituents. So ilista natin yung mga substituents. You have carbon 3. Sa carbon 3, you have there an ethyl. What else? Meron ding ethyl sa carbon 5. No? You continue the numbering ha. Sa carbon 5, ito, meron ding ethyl. CH2, CH3, that is ethyl. What else? Sa carbon 4, merong methyl, yung nasa baba ito. CH3, that is methyl. Ano pa? Sa carbon 4, meron ding propyl, di ba? That is a 3 carbon chain na alkyl group. CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay, itong part na to ba? Okay? CH2, CH2, CH3. That is propyl. Diba? Kasi tatlo. From propane, ang propane removed. It is being removed by one hydrogen sa terminal carbon niya. Okay? Nag-remove og one hydrogen sa terminal carbon ng propane. Gi-attach siya sa parent chain na octane. That substituent is a propyl. Okay? Then another propyl sa carbon 5. Ayan. Okay? So, having this list of substituents, you can now name the this organic molecule. Sige, what do you think would be the name? Una yung ethyl. Okay? Una yung E. Kinsay una? M or P?
M, ma'am.
So, sulat natin. LMNOP. Okay. So, practice po ninyo ang alphabetical no kay basing masayop. So, dali na ako magsulat ha. One word lang siya. So, we have 3 ethyl. Okay. Dash. I know. It's 3, 5. Okay. Kasi dalawa yung ethyl. Okay. So, we have 3, 5 dash diethyl. Tama ba? 3, 5 diethyl. Then you have a 4 methyl. And dalawang propyl. So, use again a multiplier prefix. Okay. So, you have 4, 5 dipropyl. And the parent chain is octane. Okay? Ayan. Nawala ko?
Wala.
Wala ra. Okay, nag-notify sa ako ang kuan. You lost your connection daw. Kadali lang ha. Makita ninyo akong screen? Na nag-exit ko?
Wala, ma'am.
Oh, so,
Wala.
nag-lag lagi siya. Kadali lang ha. Nag-lag siya. Basta gid-on ako akong camera. Kanang kusog siya mukuha og kurente na noon. Unsa ni? Kurente ah. Kanang kuan. Wavelength sa net ba? Kadali lang. Nawala ako ang kuan. Na-exit ang ako ang gi-share screen. Nawala man akong net. Kadali lang ha. Ay, sorry. Ayan. Sige. Okay. Hello. Okay. Sige. So, continue tayo. So, this would be the name of the molecule presented in this slide. 3,5-diethyl, 4-methyl, then 4,5-dipropyl octane. Okay? Now, ngayon, I want you to imagine if isa sa mga branch or substituent, example lang ha, na ako'y i-modify. Say for example, isa sa branch sa carbon 5, specifically this portion, I will modify it into a substituent that has a sub-branching as well. Diba? Isa na yung branch. Diba? That is already a branch. That is already propyl in that part is already a substituent, a branch. Specifically, it is a straight chain substituent. Straight chain alkyl group na substituent. What if I will try to modify that into this structure? Okay. Example. From this point of attachment sa carbon 5, example ha, yan yung carbon 5. Example, ako siyang change into CH2, then itong carbon, okay, na CH yung pangalawa sa propyl, I will place a sub-branching in a form of methyl. Okay? So mula CH2, tinanggal ko yung isang hydrogen, nag-attach ako ng sub-branching. Okay? Well, in that case, that is already a complex substituent. Isang substituent that has sub-branching. Substituent na nga siya, napagid siya'y anak, no? So, if this is the case, we actually have an additional step in naming branch chain alkane. So, meron tayong pang fifth step in naming such complex substituents, in naming a substituent that has sub-branching. Okay? Another example. In this molecule, okay? From this parent, yan yung parent. If you try to observe this branching, okay? If that branch is only CH2, CH3, that is okay. We can easily identify that. That is obviously ethyl. But what if yung carbon sa point of attachment, tinanggal ang isang hydrogen niya from CH2, tinanggal ang isang hydrogen CH na lang, nag-replace ka ng CH3 from that hydrogen. So you have a branch, you have a substituent na merong branch, no? So another complex na substituent. Okay? Another thing, no, itong part na to sa molecule. You have this parent chain. Okay? Then yung naka-highlight, itong naka-highlight na red is also a complex substituent. Diba? From this point of attachment, okay lang kung wala ito. Kung wala yan, kana akong gi-scratch og kulay blue, that is obviously propyl. Kasi 3 carbon, straight chain alkyl group. That is propyl. Pero paano nga yung substituent, meron pa siyang sanga. Okay, so that is already a complex substituent. So how do we name a compound fully if that is the case? In that case, we have to add step number 5. Okay, so you have a step number 5. You have to name the complex substituent. Name the complex substituent as if it is a compound. Okay? You already know the 4 basic steps in naming an organic compound. Tama? Yun yung 4 basic steps in naming organic compound. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, pag ang isang molecule, nakakita ka ng isang branch na complex 1, yung complex na substituent na yun, you treat that as if it is a compound. So when you name this complex substituent, name that as if it is a compound. So balikan mo yung step 1. Okay? Diba sa step 1, we find the longest. But this time, the longest chain sa mismong substituent. Okay? So how? Letter A, take note, number. Diretso na ka sa number, the branch substituent, number the branched substituent beginning at the point of attachment to the main chain. So, suppose this is the main chain. Yan yung main chain. Ito yung point of attachment for this complex, for that complex, yung kulay blue, kanina lang, kulay blue nga akong gi-highlight. Yan yung point of attachment niya sa main chain. Okay? So, ito yung carbon na may point of attachment to the main chain. So, kung babalikan mo yung steps, basic steps in naming a compound, okay, you begin numbering, okay, at that carbon kung saan nag-start yung point of attachment. So, this would be carbon 1, and you proceed until you find the longest chain for that alkyl group. Again, longest chain, continuous. So, ibig sabihin, it's either 1, 2, or, pili lang ka, 1, 2. Okay? So, sa pikas, ana. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, 2 carbon chain ang alkyl group dito. Okay? Di ba yan yung isa sa basic steps natin in naming a compound? We number the chain, the longest chain. But again, this is already the substituent we are talking about. Okay? Substituent niya siya ato ang giname. Okay? Now, in this case, kapag two carbon chain, kung parent siya, di ba that is ethane. Kung parent. Hindi naman yan parent kasi ito yung parent sa whole molecule. These are just alkyl groups. Therefore, when you name its longest chain for this complex substituent, still treat it as an alkyl group. So, ending in -il pa rin. No? Ending in -il pa rin. So, kapag 2 carbon, di ba that is what alkyl group? Ethyl.
Ethyl.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay na tayo sa ethyl. Okay? But that is not yet ethyl. Okay, di ba ang ethyl CH2, CH3? Okay? Now, you already have ethyl, the longest chain sa mismong branch substituent. Ano yung step 3 sa basic steps in naming a compound? Di ba we assign, we number, we locate the branch. Okay? But in this case, this is already considered a sub-branch. Itong part na to. That is a sub-branch. Therefore, in this given complex substituent, ang ethyl, meron siyang substituent, not substituent, meron siyang sub-branching at carbon 1. That is why you name that as 1-methyl ethyl. Meaning sa mismong carbon 1 niya, sa complex substituent, meron siyang branch, okay, sub-branch in a form of methyl kasi CH3 yan. Diba? Kaya, when you name that substituent based on step 5, that would be 1-methyl ethyl. Ibig sabihin, yung ethyl na main branch, main substituent, meron siyang sub-branch na methyl present at its carbon 1. Okay? So, mura ni mo siya i-treat as if you are naming a compound. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng step 5. You name the complex substituent as if it is a compound, but do not neglect the characteristic niya na isa siyang alkyl. Therefore, ending in -il pa rin siya. Kasi di ba yung main parent sa molecule na to is hex ba yan? 3,7 hep, no? Isang heptane. Okay? So, yan yung ibig sabihin ng step 5. Okay? Now, please take note this. Okay? You have to take note this. Technicalities na sila. Okay? When you encounter molecule with complex substituent. That substituent must be treated as a whole. Okay? Ibig sabihin, it is alphabetized according to the first letter of its complete name. Okay? Including any numerical prefixes. So for this complex substituent, kahit may di siya, tri, etc., kung ano yung first letter sa name ng complex substituent na yan, you have to treat that as a whole. You have to alphabetize that according to the first letter of its complete name. Okay? Another technicalities na inyong i-take note, set off in parentheses. Ibig sabihin, you have to enclose this in a parenthesis. Alright? Sige. Ako sang i-erase ni siya ha. Kaninga part lang. Okay. Sige. Try na to i-name siya. Ang whole molecule for this presented one. Okay? So, this would be the longest chain. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, you already have hep. Tama ba? Hep. Oo. Kasi hex is 6. So, heptane. That is the parent chain. Si heptane, meron siyang isang complex substituent. We already named it, which is 1-methyl-ethyl. As take note ha, name pa lang yan. Name pa lang siya. Okay, which is na-enclose na to siya sa parenthesis. 1-methyl-ethyl. Take note, upon listing substituents, di ba, we assign number kung saan yung point of attachment niya sa main parent chain. Example dito, carbon 1, 2. So meron sa carbon 2 merong methyl. Tanong ko, nasaan yung complex substituent nga 1-methyl-ethyl? Anong carbon siya? Tell me. Sa parent, from this parent, saang carbon siya?
4, ma'am.
Carbon. From this parent, this is carbon 1, 2, then carbon 3. Nasaan carbon siya?
4.
Okay, very good. Carbon 4. Okay? That is why sa step 3, kung mubalik ka sa basic steps in naming branch chain alkane, balikan nyo yung step 3. Di ba we assign, we locate the substituents kung saan yung attachment niya sa parent chain. So si 1-methyl-ethyl, makikita siya sa carbon 4 ng heptane. Okay? So itong 1-methyl-ethyl, name pa lang yan. Wala pa siyang location. Ito yung location niya. Nasa carbon 4 siya ng heptane. You can now name this molecule. Sino yung mauuna? Methyl-ethyl or methyl? Tell me kung alphabetized. Methyl na may ethyl, methyl-ethyl or methyl lang?
Methyl lang.
Okay, very good. Siyempre, yung methyl lang. Wala naman siya sumpay. Okay? Parehas man sila. Methyl ang nag-una. Methyl. Wala na may kasunod ning 2-methyl. Wala na siya kasunod nga letter or word. Siya yung mauuna sa alphabetical order. So, this would become 2-methyl. Okay? Again, what separates word from number is hyphen. And then, ibang kulay na lang. 4. Awato na ni mo imong gipang lista. Okay? 4 dash, then 1-methyl ethyl. Ana. Okay? So, this would be the name of the first molecule represented. Okay? Balikan natin yung molecule kanina bago itong second one. Okay? Oh, this one. Excuse me, ha? Okay. Yung i-retain lang natin na mga substituents based sa ato ang gilista, si carbon 3, retain. Carbon 4 na propyl, retain. Carbon 4 nga methyl, retain. And carbon 5 na ethyl retain. So, ito yung nag-change. Kaya ato man siyang gipulihan. As if ha, ito na yon. As if, itong naka-enclose na bracket nga blue, kulay blue. Yan na yung magiging complex substituent. From 5-propyl, i-change na to siya into that complex substituent. Let's try to name this complex substituent. Okay? Sabi sa step 5, begin numbering. Diretso na mo. Number. Begin numbering at the point of attachment sa iyahang point of attachment sa main chain, main parent chain. So, ito yung carbon 5. Ito yung parte. Ito yun. Kani-kani. Ito yung carbon 5. Okay? Parte ng parent chain. Ibig sabihin, itong mismong carbon na directly naka-attach sa parent chain, ito yung carbon 1. Then find the longest chain for that complex alkyl substituent. So, 2, 3. Okay, so most probably it is a 3-carbon chain na alkyl group, but sa carbon 2 ni there is a sub-branching in a form of methyl. Okay? So, kung 3 carbon chain, that is propyl. Dali na ako sa ubos ibutang ha. Propyl. But again, I repeat, ang propyl is dapat, ganito yung propyl. Dapat CH2, CH2, CH3. Pero yung nangyari, yung nasa bracket nga kulay blue, yung carbon 2 nga is meron na siyang sub-branch. So, hindi lang to propyl. Si propyl na naa sa carbon 5, meron siyang methyl. Asaan yung methyl na asa carbon 2? Okay? So, enclose in a parenthesis, saan makikita itong whole complex substituent from this parent chain nasa carbon 5. Okay? So, this is 5,2-methyl propyl. Yan yung name ng complex substituent. Okay? Sige, let's try to name the final organic name ng molecule na to. Okay? So, ganun pa rin, 3,5-diethyl. Retain man yung 3,5-diethyl. Ayan. Followed by 4-methyl. So, as is. 4-methyl. So, bago yung propyl, bago itong 4-propyl, okay, bago itong 4-propyl, which is ito yon, methyl-propyl muna. Diba? Methyl-propyl muna. Alphabetical order man. So, you have 5, then parentheses, taas kay siya, no? Anak gyud muna siya iyahang name. Methyl-propyl. Then, naa pa, substituent. Lastly, the 4-propyl. Then, the parent. Ayaw kalimti ang parent, octane. Taas, gid kaayo siya. So, ing ana mag-name og branch chain alkane kung saan yung branch is a complex substituent. Okay? Now, what about this one? Yung kulay blue, number 2. Okay? Kaning label nga number 2. Let's name this complex na substituent. So, ulit, treat it as if it is a compound. Okay? I-treat lang nimo siya as if it is a compound. So, from the point of attachment, this would be carbon 1. Kana akong gi-highlight. Kulay blue na lang. Ayan. Carbon 1, then find the longest chain for that alkyl substituent. So, kung diri ka muag to sa right, that is only 1, 2. Kung diri ka sa left, 2, 3. That would be the longest one. So, kapag 3, ano yung alkyl group na yon? Kapag 3, we have propyl. Very good. Okay? Now, yung propyl, at its carbon 1, from its point of attachment ba, meron siyang CH3 dito. Ako na lang i-highlight og red. Itong red, CH3 yan. Okay? Kasi isang carbon lang. Imaginary yung hydrogens dyan. Okay? So, meron siyang methyl. So, diretso na methyl. Saan yung methyl? One word din siya ha. Nasa 1. Okay? That's why ang name ana is 1-methyl propyl. Take note, ending in -il kasi nga alkyl group pa rin yan sila. Complex lang na substituent. And close in a parenthesis, saan makikita? Sa main parent chain. Nasa carbon 5. Tama? 1, 2, 3, 4 sa carbon 5. So, when we name the whole molecule, una yung ethyl, which is present sa carbon 3. This is ethyl. No? 2-carbon alkyl group. 3-ethyl, susulat ko ha, 3-ethyl. Next, you have 2-methyl una yung methyl kaysa sa 5,1-methyl propyl. Parent, what is the parent? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, no, nane. Okay, one word lang, no, nane. Okay, so that would be the name of that molecule. Okay, but if you want to use the common names, this is actually the systematic way of naming complex substituents. Pag sinabing systematic way of naming, we follow the steps. Okay, IUPAC systematic way of naming. So nag-follow ta og rules ba nga giset sa IUPAC, okay, which is the standard one. But if you wanted to use the non-systematic way, yung common names ng complex, simplest or simpler complex substituents, you may. Okay? You may use those systematic common names for simpler nga branch chain alkyl groups. Okay? That is still well accepted by the IUPAC rules. Naalala ba tong ito? Naalala yung mga common branched alkyl groups? Ako ni siyang gipamemorize sa pinaka-introduction pa lang sa organic chemistry, katong nag-start ta sa functional group, katong nga pre-recorded video. I have discussed there, I have highlighted there, this common branched alkyl groups. Diba? We have the isopropyl. I already showed to you paano yung skeletal, no? Skeletal nila nga illustration akong gi-provide. Kani ilahaning condense yung sa 5 carbon chain nga branch alkyl groups naka-skeletal lang dito. Okay? But I have provided to you the condensed one. Nana siya sa inyong notes. So you have to familiarize this. If you wanted to use this names, common names ng mga branch chain, branched alkyl groups. Okay? Say for example, yung kanina actually, ito. Ako sang i-erase ha. Erase na ako siya. Ayan. Itong naka-enclose na complex substituent, which is a 1-methyl ethyl, yung simpler, not the simpler, iyahang common name for this branch alkyl group is actually isopropyl. That is isopropyl. If you come to think of it, you have a 3 carbon chain, CH3. Akong siyang i-straight chain ha. CH, ito lang yon, CH3, CH, CH3. Yung point of attachment is nasa gitna. Ibig sabihin, a 3 carbon chain, pero nag-remove ng hydrogen sa internal carbon. Diba? Hindi siya sa terminal carbon nag-remove. Kasi pag terminal carbon nag-remove, then 3 carbon chain, that is propyl. Pero, in this case, nag-remove ng hydrogen sa internal carbon. Recall sa inyong notes, that is, that particular alkyl group is now isopropyl. Okay? Kung imo siyang skeletal, ana siya. Okay? Ana, ito yung point of attachment. Yung nasa gitna, itong highlighted kulay blue, ito yung CH. Ito yon. Then, yung mga nasa terminal 1, CH3, CH3. That is isopropyl. So, you can use the name isopropyl. Okay? So, di na kakailangan nga imo pang i-identify ni nga mga branching, etc. Kasi this whole branched alkyl group is isopropyl. Asaan yung isopropyl? Nasa carbon 4, no? So that is, when you list down all the substituents here for this parent chain, you have 4-isopropyl and you have a 2-methyl ito, 2-methyl. So when you name it, una yung isopropyl kasi alphabetical man. If you tend to use this common names, ganun pa rin, alphabetical, no? Alphabetical pa rin. Okay, when you write again the alkane name, iso, yung iso dito is considered as part of the alkyl group name. Okay, so considered siya for alphabetizing purposes. So iso will comes first, okay, bago yung methyl, then the parent which is heptane. Okay, susulat ko yung name if inyong gipili is isopropyl. Okay, so we have 4-isopropyl, 2-methyl, 2,4,6,7. So heptane. So pwedeng yan yung name for that molecule. Ito naman. From this point of attachment, kung bibilangin mo yung carbon present in this simple nga branched alkyl group, total of 4 yan. Diba? So, kung mo na siyang ayan. If you try to write its condensed form of that complex substituent, that is simply CH3. Ito yon, CH3. Okay, followed by CH2. Okay. You can predict its condensed structure based on its skeletal illustration. Kay inyo halang yung dumduman is per corner carbon. Dumdumi nga si carbon, 4 lahat yung bonds niya dapat. So per carbon dyan dapat 4 yung bonds niya. Ibig sabihin kung pag tingin mo sa structure, skeletal structure, ay kulang siya. Meaning yung kulang na yun, imaginary yun ng mga hydrogens. Okay? So CH3, then CH2, ito. This is only CH. Kasi meron na siyang 3 branch. So imaginary yung isang, not branch, 3 bonds, no? Imaginary yung isang hydrogen. So ito yung point of attachment. Then you have CH3. Now in this case, okay, a 4-carbon chain na alkyl group, okay, pero nag-remove ng hydrogen sa internal carbon from that 4-carbon chain. So that is not already butyl. Diba? Kasi pag butyl, dapat dito sa terminal carbon, nag-remove ng isang hydrogen. That becomes butyl. Pero saan nag-remove? Sa internal carbon. This becomes, i-recall lang inyong notes this is, sige nga, you tell me, what is that, what is the common name of that alkyl group, branched alkyl group? You tell me, based on your notes. If inyuhag yung gi-take down. If it is not butyl, then what is that?
It's butyl.
It is?
Butyl, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Very good. This is sec-butyl. Sec-butyl. I-recall ninyo, how did I define sec-butyl? Ano yung ibig sabihin na prefix sec? Secondary carbon. Ibig sabihin, itong carbon na to, kung saan yung point of attachment, is a secondary carbon kasi meron siyang 2 more bonds towards another carbon. Okay? Again, itong carbon na to, which is the point, yung carbon lang yung carbon na yan, which is the point of attachment to the main chain, meron siyang 2 other bonds towards another carbon. That's why secondary carbon yan. That's why secondary butyl. Okay? So, if you master this simpler branched alkyl group, ito sila, You can. I will let you use its common names. Yung isopropyl, kung sec-butyl, okay? Tert-butyl ba yan? Isobutyl, isopentyl, sec-pentyl, neopentyl, tert-pentyl. But there are some students nga maglisod sila og distinguish if they will use this common branch alkyl group names. Ang which is true naman, if dili kayo kamaayong mag-identify gyud sa nga mag-imagine nga nagbalintong-balintong na ba ang kuan branch, kailangan man gyud ni siya og kuan 3D imagination kay dili man all the times ingani ang orientation sa isopropyl. Diba? Dili man all the times ingani. Pareha ka ganina sa structure nakaingani man siya. No, CH3. Okay? So it needs visual nga three-dimensional gyud nga analysis pod ani nga kabalo bitaw ka mo distinguish kung okay sakto ang bonding, okay this is 3 carbon chain, then dito yung point of attachment, etc. So probably this is tert-butyl nga na. If you think dili kay ka maayo ana, you can use the safest one, okay, which is step 5. Which is pinaka-safe. Okay, you simply count, you treat that complex substituent as a compound, di ba? So it's up to you. But sa exam, you have to name only one. I mean, not only one. You have to provide only one name. Kay sensitive ba ang Google form. Okay? Kung nag-or ka, or, this could be the name, naghatag kag isa ka name then nag-or nga wrong yun na per name mo answer kay isa lang yun nga name ang inyong ihatag, isa ka probable name. So ito yung pinaka safest yung step 5. Okay? So but still I will encourage you to use kahit isopropyl, kadali lang yun ma-identify ang isopropyl. Sa tanan nga common branch alkyl groups, isopropyl ang pinakadali ma-identify kasi 3 carbon lang siya. Wala may lain nga complex nga substituent kapag 3 carbon, no? Isopropyl lang yan. Okay? So kahit isopropyl, no, para ma-practice pod ninyo ma-practice ninyo mag-identify na it is isopropyl, etc. Kasi 'di ba, isopropyl nga term that inyo na siyang ma-encounter sa day-to-day living. Example, isopropyl alcohol. Diba? So with that, kung mayroon ko isopropyl, kabalo na ko sa structure sa isopropyl. So kung mayroon og alcohol, itong point of attachment, naalang siya OH. So that is already isopropyl alcohol. Okay? So yan yung structure ng isopropyl alcohol. Okay? Isopropyl, yan yung pinaka-common, diba? Sige. And again, I will emphasize if you tend to use this, si iso nga prefix ng isopropyl, part siya ng alkyl group name. That's why parte siya in the purpose of alphabetizing. Okay? So, letter I kamag lista. Okay? Letter I kamag lista upon alphabetization. Okay, whereas, ito yung mga hyphenated, pareha sa sec, gigamit nimo ang sec, then di ba na hyphen, sec, then dash butyl, tert, dash butyl. Ito, sec, pentyl, na yung mga kaning hyphenated ba? Kapag hyphenated, may hyphenated prefix from that name of alkyl group, do not consider, never consider these prefixes na tert, sec, okay, as part of the alkyl group name. Okay? Hindi sila parte ng alkyl group name in this part. This is just to identify kasi if what is the characteristic of the carbon, which is the point of attachment, if it is a secondary carbon, if it is a tertiary carbon. So hindi siya part talaga ng mismong name ng alkyl group. Okay? So this will be listed. Example, nagamit ka ng sec-butyl, letter B ang imuhang gamiton nga letter, okay, upon alphabetization. Okay? So, yan yung technicalities naman kapag ginamit mo yung common names for branched alkyl groups. Sige, any question for this slide? And also sa step 5 na process in naming complex substituent.
Ay, ma'am. For example, mo ka ng butyl roller among is butang.
Ay, no. What I mean is upon alphabetization, di ba? Example, pares ani. Sorry. Balik tas ani nga. Ayan. Di ba this is a sec-butyl? Ayan. Sec-butyl which is present in carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have carbon 2 methyl, carbon 3 ethyl. Okay, di ba when you list down the substituents and then you cite it alphabetical order. So kung mag-cite na ka sa mga substituent based on alphabetical order, in this case, dili ka mag-consider aning a sec, okay? In alphabetizing. I-write gihapon nimo ang word nga sec, but in deciding sa citation, writing ng name, letter B, okay? It will be listed under letter B for those alkyl group na merong hyphenated prefixes. So, kung ako siyang i-name, kaninga molecule, this will become, kinsa may una siya. Letter B ang una. Okay, sec-butyl. So, 5, sec-butyl. Kasi letter B man, no? Then, it will be followed by 3, ethyl. Then, last yung 2, methyl. Then, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 ba? Or mali ko? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, proceed tayo sa conversion, no? Conversion of chemical name to its chemical structure. So this time, pabaliktad. 'Di ba? Sa mga previous nga slides, puro structure yung makikita nyo, then you have to name it. This time, paano naman kapag chemical name yung binigay? Chemical name yung binigay, how will you convert that into a structure? Okay? So, these are the steps in converting chemical name for branch chain alkane into its structure. Okay? Say for example, the given name is, ayan, 4-isopropyl 3-methyl heptane. So, yan yung binigay na pangalan, okay, ng molecule. How will you draw the structure of this molecule? So, first step, pa-reverse ka, okay? Pa-reverse ka. You start with the parent name. Look at the parent name of the given chemical name, okay? And then you draw its carbon structure. You draw its carbon structure. So, ibig sabihin, kapag heptane, ilan yung carbon kapag heptane? Tell me.
7.
Okay, very good. There are 7. So, mag-draw ka og carbon skeleton. 7 kabuok. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7. Yan yung unang step. Okay? Second, find and locate the substituents. Okay? And place them on the proper carbons. Okay? Obvious naman sa pangalan kung asaan yung mga substituent. Yung substituent na isopropyl makikita sa carbon 4. Yung methyl naman makikita sa carbon 3. So, it is your decision already. Which do you want? Is your carbon 1 here? Pwedeng ito yung carbon 1 mo. Pwede din ito. Okay? So, let's say ito yung carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Sa carbon 4, ito, carbon 4, there is an isopropyl. Diba? And isopropyl looks like this. CH3, CH, CH3. So, depende sa inyo, unsaon na ninyo pag-plus-star, basta isopropyl na siya. Okay? Pwede po parehas kanina na illustration, di ba? Yung CH3 niya, I mean yung isopropyl niya, pag ganito, the same lang gihapon na siya, no? It's the same. It is still isopropyl na naa sa carbon 4. Then at carbon 3, pwede gihapon sa taas ninyo ibutang, pwede po sa ubos. So let's say, ako man ang nag-draw, okay? So butang na ko siya sa ubos ang methyl. Di ba methyl is CH3. Nasa carbon 3 daw po. Okay? So hapit na nato siya ma-complete. Iyahang structure. Step 3, add hydrogens. You add hydrogens to complete the structure. Ibig sabihin, yung mga skeleton na carbon, kulang pa man na sila, di ba? Og bonds. Kulang pa sila og bonds. Dapat per carbon, meron silang total of 4 bonds. So, carbon 1, ilan yung kulang na hydrogen sa kanya? Meron na siyang isang bond. Kulang siya ng 3. Meaning yung 3 are hydrogens. Okay? For this internal carbon, okay, yung second carbon, kulang siya ng 2 hydrogen. Kasi meron na siyang bond towards this carbon. Okay? Nasa left o right niya, yung carbon 2 ba, meron siyang carbon on the left and on the right. So, meron na siyang 2 bonds doon. So, imaginary, kung i-skeletal na nimo, imaginary yung hydrogen. But this is a condensed one, condensed structure. So, dapat na to i-place ang hydrogen atoms to complete the structure. Okay? What about carbon 3? Tell me, ilan yung hydrogen that I need to place here? Anyone?
One lang, ma'am.
Okay, very good. CH lang, no? 1 lang. Kasi meron na siyang another branch dito, CH3. The same with carbon 4. 1 lang din. Okay? While carbon 5 is CH2, carbon 6 is CH2, and finally, carbon 7 is CH3. That is how to add hydrogens to complete the structure. Dapat ang inyo lang yung concept diri is si carbon, per carbon gyud 4 gyud iyang bonds. So careful gyud mo pag ihap sa iyahang bonds, no? Ayan. So this would be the final condensed structure of the chemical name na 4-isopropyl 3-methylheptane. What about its skeletal? Paano pag yung instruction is of this chemical name? Ganun lang din. You start with the skeletal zigzag nga carbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, ihap pa balik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 para ma-sure yun. Then, let's say for example, ganahan ka diri imong carbon 1. So, okay ragi hapon. Carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is still heptane. Okay? Sa carbon 4, so ito na yung carbon 4. It has isopropyl. So, ito lang yon. Sa carbon 3, merong methyl. So, ana lang ang skeletal. O, diba? Mas sayon ang mag-draw o structure kaysa sa mag-name. Kaya it goes along man. If you know already the basics in naming compounds, in naming organic compounds, you can easily draw no? Or illustrate its structure. Okay, so mag-start ka again. Yung life hack dito or technique is you start with the parent chain. That will be your clue. Okay, kung pila ka carbon atoms sa mismong chain sa parent, from that skeleton, carbon skeleton, ilocate nimo no ang mga substituents, ipang-attach ang mga gipang mention nga substituents, then dugangi og hydrogen to complete the structure. Ang pinakasayon would be the skeletal, kay dili na ka mag dugang og hydrogen kasi imaginary yung hydrogen. Yung challenging na part is yung sa condensed one. Okay, sige nga. Ito lang yun ha. Maura ni siya. Okay, parehas lang yan. Dito lang, this is carbon 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the same. Okay? Ayan. Sige nga. For this part, assignment, yes, Miss Malinog. Yes, Miss Malinog.
Joke na Ma'am Abby kung mag-drawing.
Pwede ra. You can, pwede rin ninyo i-draw na amoy paper. So, pwede ra,
Yes,
no? Sige, para ma-practice. Sige, Miss Malinog, I will still give 5 points sa so, number 1, Miss Malinog, i-on lang inyong camera, ha? And then, you will not draw sa, okay? I will, dapat live mo mag-answer. So, magikan mo sa, sa parent, okay? Kaya ni ma-search siya, manggod ni siya. Imo ni siyang 1 tab away, rabia ni siya sa Google. Okay? 3,4-dimethyl no imo na siyang i-search ako mong gawas dayon ng mga structure. So I want you kung ato ni siyang i-recitation, i-on inyong camera, but live ninyo siya buhaton. Dapat wala sa ang drawing. Okay, mag-start mo sa parent, then katong step by step. Okay? Sige, number 1, Miss Malinog. Sige, number 2, anyone? Sino yon? Wala ko kabantay. Yes, Abad. Man naman si Abad. Kuan sa ato sang hatag pod sa uban ang plus points. Kinsa to? Aside from Malinog, di anyone.
Okay, nag-camera, ma'am?
Yeah, pwede na. Miss Malinog, who else? Sayang yung 5 points, no? Sige. Mas maayo kung namoy marker, no?
Pwede 4, ma'am.
Kita to. Wala ko kabantay. Yeah, booking kito. Sige. Number 4. Number 2. Walay number 2. Octane. Dali ra kaayo ang number 2. No? Walay mag number 2. Walay mag-try. Sige, manawag ko ha. Nang-left na dahil ng uban. Pag manawag ko ha. Sige, Miss Enderes, number 2. Okay, number 3. You can either choose. Kamu bahala. Pwede condensed or skeletal. Kinsa to? Wala ko kabantay. Yeah, Tagalan.
For 3, ma'am.
Okay, number 3. Sige, number 5. Sige, para po ma-practice ang atuang kuan, no? Kay kuan. Basing mawala na inyong mga skills, interpersonal skills, wag na mag-interact mo sa kuan. Yes, Miss Obshoma. Sige, number 5. Okay, let's start with Miss Malinog. Kanang ipalantaw gyud ang imuhang imuhang kaning desk. Kanang makita gyud imuhang. Okay kana, sige. Okay. You start, go. You start with the parent. Isulat gyud. Ayo sa dili sa mimo tan-aw sa imong final answer. Katong process, sige go. Get another paper.
Yes po.
Sige, go. Then, Hindi man na mo makita. Sige, go.
The, wait lang po muna. The parent is nonane, which is 9.
Oh, sige. Patanawa mi, di mi kagkita.
Ay,
Ay, ako
sorry
na
po.
lang. Sige. Ay, ako na lang i-share screen ha. Ako ni siyang i-end. Para mo tanaw ra sila sa ako ang present screen. Ipin ako imuhang camera. Aman to si Malinog. Nawala man ka. Nawala si Miss Malinog. Miss Malinog. Nawala siya, no? Sige, let's proceed to number 2 lang sa. Number 2. Kita to number 2. Sige, on imong camera. Nantawa na mo imuhang practice good, no? Practice makes perfect. Sige, go.
Pwede, ano sa mga balik.
Ay, ibalik. Ang unsa, ako ibalik ang akong gi-share.
Mubalit ako sa phone, ma'am, kaya nag-laptop mo.
Ah, okay. Sige, yung totoo. Sumurag nangawala naman sila. Ay na lang, ako na lang mag-draw. Okay? Para dili masayang ang atong oras. Sige ha, I will just use the skeletal one. Okay? And it is your job already. Ako na lang, activity na lang yung worksheet number 4 naman yata ta, worksheet number 4. I will let you draw the condensed one. Kayo yung sa condensed, no? Draw the condensed structure. Okay? Condensed structure of the following. Okay? Maghimo lang yapon kog template. Template sa kung asa ninyo i-turn in ang inyong activity for this part. Okay? Sige, I will draw the skeletal para dali lang, no? Kay kung kuan pa ta, lisod kaayo ang virtual nga practical. Okay, kay mag-consume ang good siya time. Okay ra kung one-on-one. Kuan man gud ni siya whole class. Sige ha. So, let's have the skeletal illustration of the following. Let's start with number 1, nonane. So, nonane, ito yung number 1. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So, that is a 9 carbon chain nonane. And there are substituents at carbon 3 and carbon 4 methyls, no? So you have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 3, 4 dimethyl nonane. Okay, number 2. The parent is octane. Okay? So, yan, skeletal ulit. You have octane. Carbon 2. Ayan. So that would be carbon 2. This is carbon 2 na merong methyl attached to it, and carbon 4, ito yung carbon 4, merong propyl. Okay? So yan yung propyl. 1, 2, 3. So you can have that structure. Or depende sa inyo. Basta tama yung 3. Number 3, heptane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. then 7, and then at carbon 3, merong ethyl. Okay? So you can have this ethyl. 2 carbon alkyl group. And then sa carbon 4, merong methyl. You can have this. Padiraan na ang sa methyl. Inyo siyang itabi. Nawala na po akong connection. Kadali lang ha. Okay, let's continue. Ayan. Sige, number 4. Number 4, pentane. No, pentane. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ayan. A 5 carbon chain. Okay, 5 carbon parent chain, and there are 3 methyls attached sa carbon 2. So you can have this. Sa carbon 2, this is carbon 2, merong methyl, and also sa carbon 4, merong methyl. So that is 2,2,4 trimethyl pentane. And lastly, number 5, ayan, heptane. No? Ayan, heptane naman yung parent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And then, isopropyl sa carbon 4. Ito yung carbon 4. Then, you have an isopropyl. Okay? And then, methyl on the 3rd carbon. So, this is carbon 3. Okay, so that would be 4 isopropyl, 3 methyl heptane. Okay? You have any question under a conversion of chemical name to its structure? Sige, na question? Na question? Sige. So, walay question. Let us proceed. Napatay 30 minutes. Okay? Okay, proceed ta sa nomenclature of cycloalkanes. Paki-screenshot ni siya nga part ha, kani. This will be your activity. No? Activity ninyo for laboratory. Lecture pala. Activity for lecture. Maghimo lang kog template after this session para aware mo asa ninyo i-submit. You can have the written. Okay, you can have the written or kung possible ang computerized, no? Maklaro man ako kung kuan kanang copy paste sa internet, no? So better nga inyong i-written inyong output. Okay? Sige. Okay, let's proceed to the nomenclature ngayon ng cycloalkane. So we will try to name cyclic molecules of alkanes. But before that, let me define you first the cycloalkane, the term itself, cycloalkane. This is considered as saturated cyclic hydrocarbons. Again, this is considered saturated cyclic hydrocarbons. When you hear or when we say saturated, okay, saturated. In chemistry, ibig sabihin nito is all carbon to carbon bonds are in single bonds. Okay? Are in single bonds. Take note. Pag sinabing saturated in chemistry, ibig sabihin yan, yung carbon to carbon bonds, they are all in single bonds. Okay? Another thing to note about cycloalkanes, they are considered alicyclic compounds. Ibig sabihin, isa siyang aliphatic cyclic compounds. Okay? Now, when you say aliphatic, it is one of the classification of hydrocarbons. Okay? Again, when we say aliphatic, that is one of the classification of hydrocarbons. In general, kasi there are two classification of hydrocarbon compounds. When you say hydrocarbon compounds, yung mismong compound solely puro hydrogen and carbon lang yung makikita natin. So hydrocarbon. Okay? So meron tayong dalawang classification in general ng hydrocarbon. Una, aliphatic. We also have what we call aromatic. Okay? Now, when we say aliphatic, by definition, naman yata dere. Wala siya. Okay? So, when we say aliphatic, ibig sabihin nito, yung hydrocarbons, okay, they are being joined together. They are being joined together in either straight chain. Okay, pwede straight chain, pwede branched, okay, chain, or pwede din naman non-aromatic rings, in a non-aromatic rings. Okay? A condition, kapag sinabing aliphatic, it may be saturated. Yung mismong straight chain ng hydrocarbon or branch chain ng hydrocarbon, it may be saturated. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng carbon-to-carbon bonds, single bonds, or it may be unsaturated. So, ano yung antonym ng saturated, which is single bonds puros? This time, kapag unsaturated, meron ng multiple bonds, either double bonds, okay, or triple bonds. Okay? Again ha, saturated is single bonds, yung carbon to carbon. Okay? Kapag unsaturated, yung carbon to carbon, meron ng carbon to carbon double bond or carbon to carbon triple bond. Yan lang yung ibig sabihin ng saturated, unsaturated by chemistry. So again ha, aliphatic, ang hydrocarbons are being joined together. Series of hydrocarbons are being joined together in either straight chain, pwede may sanga, branch chain, or in a non-aromatic ring. Okay, we will learn more what does aromatic means, no? And what is a non-aromatic ring. Okay. Now, another class of hydrocarbon is yung aromatic. So, i-define ko lang siya ha, although we have a separate segment, okay, to deeply discuss what is an aromatic ring. And we will also be identifying aromatic ba or non-aromatic ring sa next proceeding segment sa discussion. Okay, so define ko lang, kapag sinabing aromatic, hydrocarbons, classification of hydrocarbon, ibig sabihin yung carbon atoms are being linked to each other in a ring. Okay, meaning it is being connected to each other in a ring structure. Okay, with conjugated pi bond. Okay, with conjugated pi bonds. Or in general, kapag aromatic, okay, it follows a rule. It follows a rule known as Huckel's rule. Okay, Huckel's rule, which is the 4n plus 2. Okay. For now, you just have to familiarize this definition. Basta aromatic, it follows the Huckel's rule. The carbon atoms are linked to each other in a ring manner with conjugated pi bonds. With conjugated pi bonds na ay ring, Huckel's rule, that's aromatic. Okay, sige lang, we will have a separate segment on identifying aromatic rings, no? So future na siya. Sa siguro semifinals. Okay? So balik tayo kay cycloalkanes. Okay, as expected, since it is an aliphatic, no? Isa siyang aliphatic, then cyclic compounds, expected na yung structure niya consist of rings of CH2 units. Okay? And they will have a general formula of CnH2n. CnH2n. This would be the general formula for a cycloalkane. Whereas yung straight chain alkane, di ba? It is CnH2n plus 2. Ito naman yung sa cycloalkane. And take note, it is cyclic ha. Take note, it is cyclic. A cyclic compound. So you will expect here that we will be dealing with rings, no? Rings, mga drawings nga naka-closed. Okay, in a form of ring. So these are usually represented by polygons. Niagi man tatanan og geometry sa junior high school. So you're familiar with polygons, di ba? So these are the following. Cycloalkanes, simple cycloalkanes. Ako sa erase ha. Ayan. Okay. Hindi siya ma-erase. Ayan. Okay. So these are the simplest. Okay. Cycloalkanes. Okay. Kapag 3 carbon, diba? From the formula CN H2N, diba? Ito yung general formula. Syempre, yung simplest cycloalkane is it consists of 3 carbons sa iyang cyclic structure. Kasi kapag dalawa lang, di man ka maka-form ana og cyclic structure. Diba? Kung duha lang ka carbon, dili gyud na siya ma-close. Okay, dili gyud na nimo siya di ka maka-produce ba og cyclic ring with just only 2 carbon atom. So the simplest cycloalkane is it consists of a 3. Palihog sa ko. Okay. So sorry for that. Okay. Sige. So it consists again of 3 carbon. That would be the simplest cycloalkane. Kasi pwede na din mo siya ma-close, di ba? Maka-form ka og 3 containing carbon in that cyclic compound. And that is cyclopropane. Okay? Kaila man tawag propane? Kaila tawag propane yung straight chain alkane nga propane. Okay? Which consists of 3 carbon. No? Now this time, this is still a 3 carbon but cyclic. Okay? So pag CnH2n, tatlo yung carbon present in the cyclic chain, you will have the condensed formula C3H6. Applying this general formula. Yung N dyan, the same thing, yung N, that stands for the number of carbon. Okay? The number of carbon. Kapag 4, so C4. C4, then H, 2 times 4, so CH4, H8. Okay, so that would be cyclobutane. So this would be the simplest, no? Simplest representation or skeletal drawings ng mga cycloalkanes. Okay? Balikan natin yung definition kanina. Sabi dito, di ba, ang cycloalkane consists of CH2 units joined together in rings. Say, for example, yung simplest one. Yung simplest one is the cyclopropane. This is the skeletal drawing. Again, skeletal na sila ha, skeletal drawing. Ano sabi ko kapag skeletal drawing? Per corner is what atom? Per corner is what atom?
Carbon, ma'am.
Carbon, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Carbon. So this is a carbon, tatlong carbon. Okay, nakacyclic. Kapag skeletal, ano yung atom nga imaginary? Kapag skeletal drawing, ano yung atom na imaginary?
Hydrogen, ma'am.
Hydrogen
Okay,
po.
very good. Hydrogen. Kapag carbon, ilan yung pinaka-most stable number of bonds? Kapag carbon,
Apat, ma'am.
very good, 4. Okay, simulan natin sa carbon na to. This carbon already has 2 bonds. Ako siyang i-highlight og blue. Okay, meron na siyang 2 bonds. Ibig sabihin, imaginary na carbon is 2. Okay, so mura na siya ani. Okay, imaginary yung dalawang, let's say, ana. Okay, dalawang hydrogen. Also, itong carbon highlighted with color orange, meron na din siyang dalawang bonds, okay, towards another carbon. So, imaginary din niya is dalawang hydrogen. Tama? Then, connected siya with the other carbon here. Ito namang carbon na kulay black. This is another carbon and also has 2 bonds already. So, you have here carbon, imaginary yung hydrogen. So, mara na siya gingani. So, kung mo siyang i-analyze, these are CH2, di ba? CH2, CH2, CH2. Okay, balik mo sa definition. Cycloalkanes consist of CH2 units joined together in a form of rings. So, puro siya CH2, CH2 interconnected together in a form of rings. And again, the general formula is CnH2n. So, yan lang yung ibig sabihin ng cycloalkane by definition. Okay? Showing the skeletal drawings. Okay? So, again ha, these are, ako siya i-erase. These are the following simplest cyclic alkanes, meaning walang substituents na cyclic alkanes or cycloalkanes. It's just the same. Okay? So we have cyclopropane, cyclobutane, 4, yung C4H8, cyclopentane, okay, 5, okay, yung sides, cyclohexane, 6, yung sides. I know you are familiar with this. Mga polygons ba? Polygons. No? Cycloheptane, 7 sides. Okay? Then so forth, cyclooctane and cyclononane. So kahit hanggang cyclooctane lang, okay na yon. Okay? Sige. So those are the simplest. Now this time, paano naman kapag substituted yung isang cycloalkane? Okay? Paano naman kapag substituted ang isang cycloalkane? Meaning meron siyang branch, di ba? From its simple polygon, okay, meron siyang sanga. May naka-attach na, let's say, may naka-attach na methyl, may naka-attach na ethyl. Okay? Now, for substituted cycloalkanes, they are being named by the rules similar to those open chain alkanes. So, kung paano natin giname ang mga alkanes last in the previous slides, the same similar rule will be applied, okay, in general. Okay? That is why you really have to master alkanes muna bago kayo makapag-proceed sa nomenclature ng other organic classes. Okay? So, ganun pa rin. Steps, okay, basic steps. First is to find the parent. Okay? Again, for most of the compounds, for substituted cycloalkanes, generally, aside from it follows the basic steps ng alkanes, there are only two main steps nga mura siya additional bitaw. Okay? Nga exclusive lang for substituted cycloalkane. So, number one, under finding the parent, letter A, you have to count, no? So, counting ta. Count the number of carbon atoms in the ring. Okay? Meaning sa mismong cyclic alkane, you have to count the number of carbon atoms, and aside from that, you also count another counting pod, separate counting for the number of carbon atoms in the substituent. Again, letter A, nga case, you have to count the number of carbon atoms present in the ring. Also, you have to count the number of carbon atoms present in the substituent. If, letter B, if ever the number of carbon atoms in the ring is equal or greater, again ha, if ever ang number of carbon atoms sa ring is equal or greater, okay, then the parent chain will be that particular cycloalkane. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung magiging molecule is generally a cycloalkane which is substituted. Okay, kung equal or greater yung ring niya. I mean, yung number of carbons niya sa ring. Say for example, ito. Sabi sa letter A, case number A, you have to count the number of carbons sa ring. Okay? So if this is the ring, you count, there are how many carbons sa ring? 5. No? Kung 5 carbon atoms in the ring, this would probably be cyclopentane. Diba? Kapag 5 carbons in a ring, that is cyclopentane. Also, you have to count man the number of carbon atoms present in the substituent. Now, obviously, in this substituent, it only contains 1 carbon. So, this is just, this will just become a substituent. Kasi, under sa letter B, ang magiging parent chain is the one, okay, or ganito, if ever yung number of carbon atoms, if ever yung number of carbons in the ring is greater kumpara sa carbon atoms sa substituent, then cycloalkane will be the parent. Okay? So in this case, etong CH3 magiging, ano lang siya, obviously, isa siyang substituent. Okay? Isa siyang substituent. And that is, you know already, what is that substituent? That is methyl. Okay, continue ta. So cyclopentane, then you have a methyl. Letter C. If the number of carbon atoms in the substituent is greater, if the number of carbon atoms in the substituent, again, we're talking about the substituent, okay, greater yung carbon atoms doon, then the parent chain is already an alkane. May it be propane, pentane, butane, kung siya yung mas may maraming carbon atoms. Let's say for example in this illustration, o tingnan, i-compare mo yung number of carbon atoms sa ring. Sa ring, 3 lang yung carbon atoms. Okay? Again, there are only 3 carbon atoms sa ring. Whereas sa substituent, there are how many? There are 4, which is a straight chain, straight carbon chain. Okay? Isang continuous carbon chain. This a total of 4 carbon atoms. So, i-apply mo yung letter C nga case. If ang number of carbon atoms sa substituent is greater, siya yung magiging parent. Ibig sabihin, isa itong alkane overall. Isang alkane. And what is that alkane kapag 4? Tell me, what is that alkane? Apat. Very good. Okay, very good. That is butane. And ano yung mangyayari sa ring? Okay? Isa na siyang alkyl group dyan. Particularly, isang cycloalkyl. Okay? Kasi branch naman siya. Isa lang siyang sanga na naka-attach sa main chain, parent chain, which is butane. Remember, ang mga sanga, we consider them as alkyl group. But this is a specific example of cycloalkyl. Kay cyclic man. And what is this cycloalkyl? This is cyclopropyl. Okay, ayan. That is cyclopropyl. So, yan yung ibig sabihin sa step number 1. Upon finding the parent. Okay, upon finding the parent, you have to compare first. Sino yung mas may maraming carbon atom? Yung substituent ba? Or yung ring? Okay? Then you decide. Kung yung ring yung may pinakamarami ng carbon atom, siya yung magiging parent, ibig sabihin, isa siyang cycloalkane. So you decide kung 5 yung carbon atom in that ring, cyclopentane. Kung 4, cyclobutane. Kapag 7, cycloheptane, etc. Then yung magiging branch, okay, substituent yun. And the second condition, second case, sa second case, since mas marami yung carbon atoms sa substituent, siya yung magiging parent chain. And that is an alkane. Diba? Isang alkane. Okay? Carbon to carbon single bond. Diba? That is alkane. Carbon to carbon single bond. And 4 daw. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is butane. So, yung branch dito, specifically is cyclopropyl. Yan yung first step muna. First step. Okay, second. Second step is we number the substituent. Okay, we number the substituent and write the name. Yan lang yung general. 2 main general steps in naming substituted cycloalkanes. So how do we number substituents? Okay, you have to choose a point of attachment as carbon 1. Okay, so for alkyl, wala pa yan. For alkyl or halo substituted alkane, example, let's say for instance, ito yung given. Okay, then you have CH3, let's say CH3 din dito. Okay, you have to choose an attachment kung sino yung carbon 1. For this given example, alkyl substituted siya, specifically methyl substituted. May methyl, may methyl. Pili ka as your point of attachment as carbon 1. Okay? Ikaw gid mo pili asa ana imuhang carbon 1. Okay? And dapat upon choosing the point of attachment, okay, upon numbering that substituent, okay, on the ring, dapat rotate dayon ka kung saan mas malapit yung pangalawang substituent. So, you choose since methyl raman na, parehas ra. So, pili ka asa imuhang number 1. So, yan yung numbering sa substituent. So, let's say, ako ang gi-choose kani akong number 1. Okay? Now, dapat when you number the substituent, okay, substituent, when you rotate, dapat you go along the side, okay, kung saan mas makaka-receive ng low number ang second substituent. Lower number of assignment ba? Okay? Lower number of location for that second substituent. Sige, tell me, asa ko mo rotate? To the right or to the left? Para maka-receive
Right, ma'am.
second substituent, lower number. Very good. To the right. So this would be carbon 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So that is how you choose a point of attachment. Madali lang to kasi puro methyl lang yung present. Di na kaangay mamili, okay? Sa carbon 1 lang. Sa carbon 1 lang, di na kaangay mamili kay pares raman methyl. Okay? Pwede pod kani imong number 1. Kani siya imong number 1, mutuyo ka to the left, di ba? Mutuyo ka paana, carbon 3 pa rin to. So you will still have the same number, 1 and 3. Okay, either. So that is how you choose the point of attachment. Now, letter A nga case, when, naatay mga case diri, whenever 2 or more different alkyl groups, this time, nakay different alkyl groups that may receive the same number, okay, then present siya sa molecule, number them by alphabetical priority, regardless of the numerical prefixes as di, tri, and so forth. Okay? Again ha, when 2 or more different alkyl groups that could receive the same number are present, number them by alphabetical priority. So say for example, erase ko na to ha, eto. As you can see, it is still cyclopentane. So obviously, this would be the parent. Kasi mas marami yung carbon atom sa cyclic ring. So, okay na yung parent. Particularly cyclopentane. Now, yung cyclopentane, meron siyang substituent. It is substituted. Meron siyang substituent. Yung isa, methyl. Yung isa, ethyl. Now, upon choosing a point of attachment, you have to decide, no? Ang magiging carbon 1 is by alphabetical order. If ever, kanang different alkyl groups could have the same number, could have received ba the same number. Diba? Kung imong i-analyze siya, pwede na siya carbon 1, pwede carbon 2. Or kung vice versa, kung ikaw mamili, pwede nga na. Or, so 1, 2 ang number. 1, 2 ang atong number. Or kung kanimong number 1, 1, 2, still, 1 and 2 ang ato ang number nga makuha, nga assignment for the alkyl groups or substituents. Muna yung pasabot. Kumbaga, different alkyl groups ang naka-attach, pero when you choose a point of attachment, posible nga they could receive the same number ba? The same assignment, the same location. Now, if that is the case, alphabetical order ka. So, priority. Okay? Yun yung magiging priority natin. Yung first by alphabetical order. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung magiging numbering natin. Ito yung tamang carbon 1. Ito yung carbon 1 kasi this is ethyl. Tama? This would be carbon 2 kasi this is methyl. Alphabetical order, di ba? Una ang ethyl kaysa kay methyl. Okay? So, ganun lang din. When you list down the substituents, you have 1 ethyl, you have 2 methyl. Okay? The same similar rules will be followed upon citing the whole name in single word. Ang cyclopentane, it has ethyl on carbon 1 and methyl in carbon 2. So that is how you choose the point of attachment. Okay? Okay, next. Sige, this is another example. Okay, another example na siya. This time, isa din itong cycloalkane, particularly cyclohexane. Napatay 5 minutes, no? Cyclohexane. Okay? Kasi 6. 6 yung carbon present in the ring. So, cyclohexane yan. So, meron siyang dalawang substituent. Sige, tell me, ano yung common name ng complex substituent na nasa taas? It is?
Isopropyl.
Very good. This is isopropyl. Yung nasa baba is methyl. Ngayon, kung kung mag-choose ka sa point of attachment, kung sino yung carbon 1, itong dalawa could have received the same number. Kasi kung kanimong number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 4 ang imuhang first trial, no? First trial nga makuha nga assignment for the substituent. Kung the other way around, ayan, kung itong nasa baba ang carbon 1 mo, then 2, 3, 4, the same thing. 1 and 4 lang gihapon ang imong makuha, no? Nga assignment, nga location for that substituent. Well, if that is the case, apply case letter A. Priority is alphabetical order. Okay? So, sino yung mauuna? You tell me. Sino yung carbon 1? The one with?
Isopropyl.
Isopropyl 1.
Okay, very good. Yung carbon na merong isopropyl. So, this would be carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is how you number, no? How you number the substituents in the parent chain nga cycloalkane. Then you can now name the molecule. So this would be 1 isopropyl, 4 methyl, continue, cyclo. Ayaw gid ninyo kalimti ang cyclohexane. Diri gid magkakasayop usahay akong mga students even before. No, tama na lahat. Malipat sila, makalimot sila sa prefix nga cyclo. Kaya na-overwhelm sila nga murag naanad ba sa alkane. So nawala na sila nga. Imbes sa ilang una-una, cyclo man gyud, pero ilang na right, hexane lang. Okay? So be careful gyud mo sa pag-name sa mga molecules. Alright? Ayan. And for this, sige, you just have to kabalo naman mo ani, no? Continue lang din ninyo. Ganun pa rin yung concept, no? Una yung the one with ethyl, yung carbon na may ethyl. Ito yung carbon 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. Okay? Kasi ito yung may ethyl. Okay? Pero if you try to change the kanang numbering, kapag ito yung carbon 1 mo, either, di ba, kung imo gid siya i-analyze, pwede man kani ang carbon 1, ma'am. Ako i-read ha. Pwede siya actually, kani man ang number 1, ma'am. Then kani ang number 2. Then diri ko 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 5 manggihapon akong makuha. The same sa imuhang color orange nga gi-label. 1, 2, and 5. No? But again, apply lagi letter A nga case. Dito ka mag-choose of point of attachment, alphabetical priority ta. Okay? Ethyl una. So, ana yung application sa letter A nga case. So, that would be 1-ethyl 2,5-dimethyl cycloheptane. Okay. Ito, madali lang to. Yung number 2 nga case, letter B. Number 2 nga case, letter B. If halogens are present, kaila man tag halogens? Chlorine, bromine, iodine, and fluorine. Treat them just like alkyl groups, meaning alphabetical gihapon. When you identify chlorine as substituent, that will be named as chloro, bromine as bromo, Hapit na ha. Iodine as iodo and fluorine as fluoro. So, ana lang. So, example, sige, you tell me para madali. Ano yung cycloalkane na to?
Cyclobutane po.
Okay, very good. So, you have cyclobutane. Therefore, you have the substituents chloro and a methyl. Okay? So, ganun lang din, alphabetical order. Diba? Pwede man ta 1, 2, ma'am. Pwede po kani 1, 2. Okay? Then 3, 4, and so forth. 1 and 2 ramang gyapon na itong makuha nga number. The same lang, no. Follow again yung letter A nga case, alphabetical. So, una yung chloro. This would be yung final, ito yung carbon 1, then carbon 2. So, the name would be 1-chloro, 2-methyl cyclobutane. So, the same thing here. You treat the halogens, okay, just like alkyl groups, alphabetical gihapon. So, mauuna yung bromo. Ay, tama ba? Or the butyl. Br or Bu. Di ba, bromo? Tama? So, that would be carbon 1. Carbon 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, the name here is 1-bromo, tert butyl. Una yung Br kaysa sa Bu. Tama? Kung alphabetical. Then, M. Or, kung ang imong gigamit is katong systematic name for this complex nga substituent, then you can have this name. Okay? So, either lang. You can have the systematic way of naming complex substituent. It's up to you as long as you follow the technicalities in naming. Okay? And lastly, ito lang yun. In this case, obvious naman nga yung mauuna talaga is B, bromo, kaysa sa chloro. So this would be carbon 1 and carbon 2. And rotate na yan, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have a 1 bromo, 2 chloro, 1 methyl. Ayaw kalimti, naani siya methyl, CH3. Then cyclohexane. Ayan. 1 bromo, 2 chloro, 1 methyl cyclohexane. You have your notes, no? I would really suggest nga while mag-lecture ko, you must have the printed handouts para igo na lang din mo mag-take down notes. Okay?